had a good break? Oh, I see some students in the audience. Hello. How are you going? The students of life, students of theatre. One and the same. Anyway, hello. A little bit nervous, but that's what we're here to do. Be upfront and be vulnerable. I'm going to share something with you that has meant a lot to me over my journey as a musician. And I'm not really sure how it's going to go, but being a bit cryptic, but pretty much the last week, Brad, our producer, said, he asked me, what are you going to do? I thought, what? I'm not going to do anything. I play the piano and I hide, in manner of speaking. And of course, at that point I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll do an original composition of mine. I write something every 3 years, it's very productive. And I thought, I'll bring something up that I had for my graduating recital a few Aprils ago, as I like to say. And but of course I popped the music stand down because I'm not going to play that. Of course I should know it off by heart, right? Anyway, tangent number 27. Here I am, and I thought, okay, I'll do a composition which really required a string quartet and 4 voices. And the voices I could get, the string quartet was going to be a little bit difficult. But instead I thought of how I actually came up with that composition, or those is centered around the planets and the Greek gods, as mythology and whatnot, inspired by Holst and yada yada yada. Anyway, so how that came about was through improvisation, and I pretty much spent every day working towards that. So every day that connected with a particular planet or a Greek god, I would spend working on that. So for Monday I would work on the moon, and Tuesday I'd work on Mars. If you do a little Latin Italian translation, you'll find it, but anyway, I won't go into that. And I'd spend just an hour at the piano, just playing stuff. I'd put it through Logic, record it, and then clean it up through Sibelius, again, semantics. Something that I've always wanted to do, because improvisation has been with me pretty much ever since I've started playing the piano. And I picked up the piano, or rather the keyboard, when I was 14, and it was something that was very, it was curious for me. I remember just touching one of the keys, and I think it was one of those light up ones, so even better, immediate gratification. And I was just astounded, I could press this button and the button would produce sound, how very simple and how exciting. And I took affection towards it right away, and it was very much a relationship. It has been a relationship ever since I started playing. So this relationship of music and developing as a human, very, very much for me, one and the same. And I sort of cycle through the different sounds, and if I was playing a different sound, it would inspire something different to play. I did not have any jazz training when I started. That'd be odd to immediately start with jazz training. But over the years, I became more proficient, and as my technical abilities improved, I found that my capabilities improved, and my avenues sort of opened up as an improviser. I didn't really think of it as improvising, though. I thought of it as play, or, well, in reflection, I look at it as play and curiosity. That is to say that I think at the heart of how I like to operate in the world and how I like to interact with people, and how I like to encourage storytelling is through play. Yeah, so no defined course, aside from the words and the notes and all that sort of stuff, but always a willingness to be playful and to be curious. And it's an interesting one, because most of the time we do navigate through the world as getting highly philosophical, but that's just who I am. We have a tendency to build expectations and to believe we know what is about to happen, and it can cause a sense of rigidity and stiffness and hardness. And that's all right, because we're human and that's what we do. We like to know what's about to happen. Me, on the other hand, right now I don't know what it's about to happen, and that I'm trying to honor that within myself. So, basically, as I went through school and increased, got some jazz training, great, Hakadori, that's wonderful. Of course, information goes, haha, now you're going to think about everything. And so that relationship was very interesting. I go, oh gosh, I'm thinking about everything. But the beautiful essence for me, this improvising or play, very much a relationship, as I said. Every time I do it, I'd exit the other end and feel like, I lose a sense of time, and I feel like I really connected with what I played. But it wasn't as simple as me doing it. it was very much a two-way relationship. So if I was in a bad mood, and I would go to the piano and say, "Piano, fix me." Piano would not respond. And I'd go through my improv thinking that, okay, all I need to do is a bit of play and I'll feel better after that. And of course, it just wouldn't work. But if there was always this openness and this willingness, this transition with the instruments, it would say, okay, you want to go on a journey? All right. If you're gonna expect to feel a certain way afterwards, it won't happen. So the wonderful thing for me is learning to be a little bit more confident in sharing this, which generally happen behind closed doors. Something that's as Jono brought up before, the essence of vulnerability and what it means to be vulnerable as humans. One thing, when it comes to play and curiosity, you're very much sharing something that is quite genuine, quite authentic. And over the past several years, I've been working on how I can go about sharing that with other people, so to encourage them to do the same. And it's challenging, I'm sure we can all relate to that. There's a tangent. I forget what I was going to say. Anyway, so, that's right. Completely unrelated, but anyway, I have to verbalize my thoughts. That's just how I work. But I managed to sort of weave it into my vocal warm-ups and working with groups, and I wouldn't sort of throw around the word improvisation because it has this sort of like very interesting connotation. You hear it, and those that are musical or sing or whatever, they hear that and they freak. And then all of a sudden we build the pattern, okay? So we start to think about, oh God, what's going to happen? And then the whole essence of it is to encourage mindfulness, yeah? Anyway, so I'd like to share this with you, whatever will happen over the next 5 minutes. I promise it will be wholesome. Or maybe I don't. So, and I would very much like to encourage you guys to come on board for the ride. And if that feels uncomfortable or scary, that's okay too. You don't have to. Just listen. And if no one's doing anything, that's cool, because I'm still playing. What that might begin with, this is so new for me, by the way, so I'm just trying to find words. You might start with some humming. And if you want to start humming when I start to produce some stuff, that's great. If not, don't worry about it. And then if you want to open that up, great. If not, all good. You can just listen, okay? But don't worry, it's all good. All right, you got me at the helm, it's gonna be magical. So one little concept that I like to play with is the essence of, this little concept that I'm trying to work on where I get 3 words from you guys, preferably not nouns, preferably, unless it's quite a magical noun, but things like, the word Japan is a little bit hard. I've gotten that a few times and it's very hard to play Japan. But the way it works, I work with word painting. So I'll think about particular words or particular feelings or seasons or plants or whatever, and that for me invokes music. Sounds simple. So for example, a butterfly for me would probably feel like this. It's my butterfly. Okay, great. Thank you. You ain't seen nothing yet. What else? I don't know. I guess butterfly's a noun. But anyway, so please, I encourage you, if anyone has some words for me, go nuts. Time? Yeah. Oh, wow. Do you know me? I'm always just harping on about time and space through music. Oh, lordy me. Okay, great. Okay, that's not intense at all. Another word, please. I'll use that, of course. Current. Current.
Is in like in a stream, a body of water.
I'm looking in the right direction. Great. Cool. Nice.
Voluptuous.
Ooh. Phantom voice from the side. Thank you for those words. See, the trick here is that there's a little game where you can start to hear when the words come in. So, it may not start with voluptuous, but when you least expect it. That's voluptuous goes. So it's kind of 2-part. I'm going to play those few words, and because of the way that I work, it might be hard to kind of jump on. That's okay too. But if you can jump on, great. if you sort of like lose the train stop and you're like, I don't know what the hell is going on right now, just get off and jump on when you want to. Yeah? And then you might hear a bit of cycling, i.e. loops. I'm talking about it too much. Daniele just played a freaking notes. So we got time, and we have currents. Oh, voice from the side. Great. Who knows when it's going to happen? Okay, let's see how we go. Welcome on this ride. Never before seen. The track. bit of a left
He's
over.
right here, making that up out of his head. Freestyler, straight from the top of my dome. Finally understand those lyrics. That's a niche reference for anyone who's exactly my age.
Thank you, friends. That was great.
Heaven,
So beautiful.
Time Current Voluptuous. My new favourite. That was so beautiful. What a treat. I mean, it was cheeky of me, I'll be honest.
It was teased in.
I like that you began with, I'm not going to start with voluptuous. I don't think we ever should. I think we should always ease
I'm not going
in.
to start with
Obtain consent and then move into voluptuous.